Hey everybody, and welcome back to Rusty Wrench Restorations. So I'm going to do a little narrative intro to this next video. So as you know by now, yesterday I traded my John Deere 420 loader tractor to get this John Deere 70 skid steer. I know in the video yesterday I just got it loaded, I was all excited. I called it a 90. They had a 70, a 90, and I think like a 125 or a 110 or something. I don't know. It's almost like Honda ATCs, right? So anyway, this is a John Deere 70 skid steer. There was another company, Autana 330, I think. Basically a different company. They made the same exact skid steer, just didn't have John Deere green paint on it. It was like a lime green color, I think. But anyway, so there's a lot of these out there. There's not a lot of part support for it, unfortunately. But there are a lot of them out there, so hopefully we won't have too big of an issue getting parts. When I had this, I had no issues with it. Like I said in the video yesterday, the only thing I did to it when I had it was I built this roll cage for it because it didn't have one. And I'm sure like you, I like my life, and if the thing ever tipped over or whatever, I didn't want to get crushed. So anyway, glad to have it back. I loved that 420, especially that it was from the dealership from where I was when I grew up. But this better suits me here. I can maneuver it around my small area so much better. It has about the same lift capacity. I think the 420 would probably lift a little more. I think this one's rated at like 700 pounds, which is really about all I'll ever need. They made these things, I want to say, from 1975 to 1978. So I think in my video yesterday I said from the 80s, but you know, close enough for government work, right? So yeah, it's a cool little machine. The bucket on it, you know, it's probably seen better days. It does have a version of a quick attach for the front end for the bucket. So one of the projects you'll see in the series for this tractor is I'm going to make another lift frame for the front like I had for the 420 that had all the chain hooks and D-rings. I don't do much dirt work unless you know, I'm helping somebody out. Really, again, this machine, the only reason I need a loader here is to help me move heavy things around. So having that lift plate for the front will be an ideal tool to have. It gives me even more compact space to turn this thing around in here. I think in a video you'll see coming up here in a little bit, I was trying to turn it inside and had a basketball hoop over here and it was tight. So anyway, and it gives you better visibility for the things you're lifting up, you know. I mean, you can literally roll that bucket forward and have it in the air and have a D-ring or a hook hanging. You can put a chain fall on it, or you can just lift like a crane. I mean, it's just super versatile. So anyway, enough of that. It's back, and as you'll see in the videos here in a minute, I got it unloaded yesterday, and like from the first 10 minutes it was issues. I ran out of fuel while I was trying to unload it. I noticed when I was driving it to the trailer yesterday, because I had to park across the street at a school, that it was kind of skipping and running a little rough. And the gentleman I got it from doesn't keep much fuel in it, because as you know, fuel nowadays, if you don't use it, stuff goes bad. So anyway, fortunately I was able to get it loaded yesterday, and it didn't run out until I was here, so I could put fuel in it. And then, so I got it unloaded, I got it over here, and started maneuvering around, kind of playing, and was playing around with the buckets, and had a hydraulic hose blow out on me. So you'll see it, it's over here on the right hand side in the video. I'll put a little arrow to it if I think of it. And yeah, it got me all over the back, and my biggest fear was the engine was hot, and it was just spraying hydraulic fluid all over my hot exhaust. So I didn't want to burn my house down yesterday. It was not on my plan. So fortunately, I was able to shut it off and get out and check it, and it didn't flash or anything. So that being said, I am going to buy a fire extinguisher today and keep it mounted out here in my work area. I do have one in the garage, and I typically bring it over if I'm using the torch or I'm doing any kind of welding, but I think it's time to have one permanently attached in my work area. It's just a safe thing to do. So anyway, that's it of me rambling. I'll add in these videos of me unloading it, running out of fuel, pulling it up here, almost hitting the basketball hoop, hose spraying out, and just craziness. So that's about it. I am gonna do some video of me trying to pull that hose off. I think I might have a hose that'll work. If not, I'll run up to Tractor Supply today. Not the ideal place to be buying hydraulic hoses. They're not cheap by any means there, but it is a good alternative, especially like this on a weekend. It's Sunday today. You spend a little extra, but at least it can get you back in business again and get you back doing what you need to do. So hopefully I can replace that hose. If not, basically I can still drive it and I can still lift and lower the boom. I just can't tilt or roll the bucket. So eventually at some point today, the skid steer is going to get pulled out, the crawler is going to come out, and the skid steer is going to go in the back where the crawler was when I did the crawler resto. So welcome to the new Rusty Wrench Restorations restoration project. So I wasn't planning on restoring this one just because it is like utilitarian, but I really don't have another project per se to work on for the winter, so I guess this is going to be it. So yeah, we'll go through, we'll strip it down, replace all the hydraulic hoses, we'll pull the engine out, we'll freshen that up, get everything cleaned up, lubricated, painted, and make it looking good. So when I had this tractor last time, I'll insert some photos here, but my buddy Brian and I took it down to a farm. I don't even remember where it was. It was in Virginia, but anyway, he had bought his 420 John Deere tractor from this woman. Her husband had passed away, and they had a bunch of equipment out in the woods. Some of the stuff we loaded and Brian took home. I want to say there was like a disc and some other things. Anyway, there was a bunch of equipment out in the woods. Some of the stuff he wanted and some he didn't, but they wanted removed out of the woods. So we used this to pull all kinds of stuff. I mean, we picked up a 5-foot bush hog, there's a 5 or 6 foot disc, there was a big V8 engine block that we put in the bucket. So and we were in the woods like tearing through trees and horse manure, and it wasn't like hard flat ground. So this thing definitely proved itself. I think I didn't even have the roll cage on there then. It was just the tractor. So, but it works really good for going someplace. If you go to an estate sale or whatever, you can use it to load your trailer with the equipment you get or whatever. And it's so small, it's compact, so it doesn't take up much room on the trailer either. I mean, honestly, I can put this and my crawler, even with the 1,300-pound blade on my trailer, and still have some room. So definitely a good thing to have. So yeah, I do want to make it completely reliable. So if we do take it somewhere to recover equipment or pull tractors from the woods or whatever, that I don't have to worry about this thing breaking down either. The bad thing about this is it's hydrostatic. Basically, it's hydraulically driven. So there's gear cases in here with chains that drive the front and rear wheels, or the left and right, and that's how it steers. But the gears on those chains are all driven by hydraulic motors. So if you don't know how a skid steer works, keep watching, you're about to learn. But yeah, basically the engine turns a hydraulic pump, and the hydraulic pump sends hydraulic fluid down to hydraulic motors, and the motors turn, and in turn turns the chains, which turn the wheels. So lots of things use hydraulic drive nowadays, especially heavy equipment, excavators, even locomotives. Diesel locomotives are all, well, those are electric drive, I'm sorry, but same concept. Generator sends power to a motor, and the motor turns the wheels. So anyway, it's one of those things that if this breaks down in the woods somewhere, I'm kind of stuck, because as far as I know, there is no disconnect for this to push it or to let it roll. So you pretty much have to drag it back to the trailer. So I need to get a winch for my trailer. That's another thing on the wish list, because it's not an easy thing to get back on the trailer again if it's incapacitated. So all right, enough of me rambling. I'll show you some of the videos from yesterday. I probably put up some of the pictures of us recovering that equipment a few years back, and then yeah, we'll go through and pull this hydraulic hose and see if we can get this fixed today, at least so I can move it around again. So all right, hope you like the new project, and let's see what happens. All right, so here's what we're dealing with here. This is the boom arm, and it has these hard lines that come down the boom and connects into 2 hydraulic hoses. They loop down in the back and they go back into hard lines again. So this is the hose that blew out. You kind of see the crack there. The other one next to it doesn't look much better. So basically these hard lines coming in, these are male fittings, and the hose has female fittings here. And you can't see it over there, but it's the same thing on the other end. So the hose has to be double female, which I don't think I have. Typically you have a male end on one end and a female on the other. So I don't even know if they'll have that at Tractor Supply. If not, maybe I can find a male to female adapter so we can have 2 female fittings on the hoses. But anyway, it's a short hose. They're not very long, probably about 15 inches. And since I'm in this area, I might as well just go ahead and replace both of these for now. So, but anyway, yeah, you have the hard lines coming from the pump. The hose here is a flex because the loader, you know, pivots here, goes back into a hard line, so you don't have, you know, hoses hanging down. And then back to the front here, let's see, it comes out of that hard line, goes into another hose, into the tilt cylinder. And as you can see, I mean, I'm really surprised this one hasn't gone yet. This hose is just trashed. I mean, the rubber's gone, the steel braiding, you know, and this is the one you don't want to blow because it's going to hit you right in the face. This one on the other side over here, still not in good shape, but, you know, might be salvageable. But this is the same thing. This is female fitting, female fitting. This one's probably about 18 inches. So maybe I'll see if I can get one of those too. Jeez, I might as well do all of them. I want to do all of them. I just don't want to do all of them today. Some of them have been replaced. Like this one over here has been done. I don't know when, but you know. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so I don't know there's really any good way of me showing you this. One thing that you want to do before you disconnect any hydraulic hoses is to move the levers. In this case, it's foot pedals. Oops, see how we just moved there? So you want to get all the hydraulic pressure off this line, and it still has pressure on it. So I'm going to grab a stick to push on that pedal instead of using my hand, so we can get all the pressure off here. Otherwise, when I disconnect this, it's all going to spray all over me. So let me get the pressure off this, and then we'll take it apart. Alright, I'm going to reach down in here with a broom handle to push this so that I'm not getting my... Oh, shit. Man. That's what I get. That's what I get. I don't need to put on old clothes today. I'm going to go to Tractor Supply. Let me just wear my good shorts. Alright, well, I guess these are work shorts now. Fuck. I'm going to stand on this side while I let the rest of the pressure out. My goodness. And this thing is, oh yeah, this thing is just going to be the, oh yeah, yep, getting oil all over. Yeah, this thing is going to be my bastard child project, I can tell already. Alright, now that I've made an even bigger mess and completely covered my engine in hydraulic oil, probably could have covered that a little better. Yeah, alright, let's get these hoses off. When you're taking apart a hose, I know I've gone over this before, but you always want a double wrench. So on this hard line, this is a 3/4, you always want to keep a good strain on there as you're trying to loosen the swivel fitting. If you just grab the swivel fitting and try to turn it, there's a chance this hard line will get twisted, broken, and I've already had enough problems with this thing, so I don't want to deal with that too. So let's get this thing loosened up and the hose off. So this is the hose that broke on me yesterday. You can see clearly cracked there, and the wire strands are broken. So now that I have this one off, I know this other hose is the same size fittings, same length. So we can just basically get a piece of string and line it along this hose, because it's flexible, but I'll never get it in a straight line. Then I'll know how long of a new hose I need to get. Alright, we're back. Let's try this again. So, Tractor Supply, like I said, if you need a hose in an emergency kind of thing, definitely not the place to go to have a bunch of hoses made or bought. They won't make them there, but anyway, I was able to get what I needed. So in their like tractor section, their hoses come in these containers like this, and you'll see 3/8 by 18 inch. It's a little bit longer than I need, but it's the shortest one I had. They sell 3/8, 1/2 inch. I think they might even have a couple 5/8, but anyway, this is what we need. I needed it to be like 14 inches, but there's some extra room back here. And this was the only one they had, so I'm not going to replace the other hoses. We're just going to do the one that's broken right now. So the hose comes with 2 male ends, and the hose that came off here had 2 female ends. So not only did I have to pay, I think it was like 17 bucks, 14, 17. I had to get 2 adapters, right? So these are 3/8 female pipe. Well, it's female on here, this is male. And then 1/2 inch female JIC swivel, which is what I need to go onto the hard lines in the tractor. So those are like 10 bucks each. So whatever, 40 bucks. At least it'll be operational again, and I can move it. So get these 2 set up. We'll get the new hose on. Alright, so I got both adapters, swivel on each end. I'll reinstall this here, and then my favorite, besides Lucas Red and Tacky, is the CRC brake clean. I'm going to take this brake clean and basically spray everything down. There's hydraulic fluid all over this engine, and although I don't really intend on using this anytime soon, I do have to move it forward, get the crawler out, and then I want to put it in the back. And the engine is going to heat up, and I don't want it smoking or catching on fire. So this stuff will get most of it off. So I'll spray this down, give it time to dry off. I'll probably get my leaf blower out, kind of blow everything off too. And you know, once I get it back there and I start stripping it down to do the resto, obviously we'll clean as we go. I'm sure as we tear into this thing, we're going to see oil everywhere. Hydraulic fluid will be all over the place. So anyway, it's just a sign of things to come. Some of these hoses have been replaced and some haven't. So I have to take it as if one is to the point where it's ready to blow, and like the ones we saw in the front are just so bad that I have to assume that the rest are on their way too. So it's bad enough to have a hydraulic line blow on the boom or the bucket, but there are also hoses underneath and inside the belly pan of this that go from the hydraulic pump to the hydraulic motors. And if one of those goes, then now you're really in a predicament, because now you're not going to be able to move this. And like I said, being hydraulic drive like that, there is no putting it in neutral and pushing it or pulling it with something else. Like, you have to drag tires across the ground. So not a fun thing I want to do. So I'm in a safe area. I got it in my my little work staged place here. So it'll just be the winter project, you know. We'll go through new content for the channel, and give me a chance to get this thing built up and ready to go, so that we'll have it for next year when the weather's good. So let me put this hose on, spray all this down, and start moving some stuff around. Alright, I think this thing snuck into the shot there. I was trying to save it for a different video, but this is a John Deere GX95 mower. Nothing special about it. Nothing I'm gonna restore. It's just as is. It's just in super clean condition. Of course, now it has hydraulic fluid dribbled and drabbled all over it. But my buddy Brian bought this a few years ago. I think he said for his mother-in-law to use, and didn't end up getting used much. And he had come by, I guess, a few months back to pick up a hit and miss engine from me, and I'd seen this in the back of his truck, and automatically I was like, I gotta have that thing. So he brought it home. He was going to use it for his kids to get used to driving around on, and I guess they didn't have much interest. So we did some trading and bartering and flipping things around, and long story short, the 3.2 bottom plow that I used to use on the 420, obviously I don't have a use for anymore. So basically at the end of the day, we ended up trading. I traded him the plow and I got the mower. So he's got a nice John Deere 420 that's got a disc, and now he'll have the plow. So he'll have a one-stop shop, take that one tractor with a plow and a disc and be able to put some gardens in or whatever. So, but yeah, this thing's got like super low hours. I don't know. Starts, rides, mows good. I don't have a big yard, but I did play around with it the other day. So I don't have a need for it, but I do like to cut grass. I know this sounds funny on the side of the road where I live. Gives me a chance to just get out, cut grass, get my mind off things, whatever. So yeah, so this is part of the collection now. Like I said, no restoration needed on this. It's in super shape as it is. So anyway, all right, let me stop rambling. I got the seat lifted up here, and you can look down inside and see the hydraulic valve assembly. I'm going to shine my flashlight on here. I guess what I'm getting at with this, and what I want you to hopefully see, is down inside here, way down at the bottom, are a bunch of rubber hoses. Those are the hoses that go from this valve assembly and the pump down to the hydraulic motors. And yeah, you can see they're not easy to get to, and this is why we're going to restore this thing and replace everything with new, because if one of these blows out, not only is the skid steer not able to move, but all of that oil is just going to dump right out on the ground wherever I'm at, whether it's in a parking lot or someone's yard, and we don't want that. So I don't want to get stuck, and I don't want to create a hazmat situation either. So like I said, we got the one hose in, everything's good. I sprayed it down with a brake cleaner best I could, blew it off with the leaf blower, and we'll see. Yep, lots of smoke. No fire, that's good. Alright, isn't too often that this area doesn't have anything in it. Definitely helped having the crawler put that together and getting rid of all the parts that I had lying around. If you go back to some of the beginning videos, when I was just taking everything apart, like along this whole fence, it was just lined with crawler parts. So we got a little more room now. These rubber mats here came from my buddy Jared. His dad works at a paper mill, and two of these put together was at one point one long rubber strip, and they used it for conveyor belts for moving, I think, like pulpwood or whatever. So I had asked if he could get some. I'd been to his place or his dad's place, and the whole bottom of their storage area, barn, garage, workshop, was covered with these mats. So I'm kind of limited to what I can do over here, because I mean, this used to be my side yard, and I built this covering for it. And you know, I really don't want to put down a concrete slab. Stone would be nice for keeping things clean, but not good to work on, especially using jacks and you know, cribbing and stuff. So these rubber mats are really kind of my best bet for what I can use. It gives me kind of a hard, flat surface. I can kneel on it. I can use jacks and cribbing and you know, jack stands and everything. So but as you can see, like, because it's covered, it never gets rain under here. It's always dry. And this used to be, when we bought the house 20 years ago, a nice lawn. We had a garden over here, but you can see it's super dusty and dry. So now anytime I come out here, you see I got dust all over my clothes, and you know, the crawler gets painted, and you know, dust gets all over everything. So I don't know, not much I can do about that. So I do need to come out here today and wash all this hydraulic oil off the siding. But for now, we'll get the skid steer back in, we'll pull the crawler back in, clean up all this concrete rubble over here, and then I'll deal with getting that washed down. Put another shrimp on the barbie. Alright, I think that pretty much brings today's video to an end. We got the hose replaced on the skid steer, got it safely moved to its almost final resting place before restoration. Like I said, I still have the two bottom plow that I need to load on my trailer to bring to my buddy Brian, because I currently don't have a tractor with a 3-point hitch. So the skid steer is going to be needed to load it onto my trailer. So anyway, once we get that loaded on, I'll get it back here again, and we'll start tearing it down for winter project 24-25. So next weekend, this video should be up by then. The Belvedere Day show in Belvedere, North Carolina. I think it starts around 8, but if you're going to go, you might want to arrive a little early, like 7. They have these things called Apple Jacks, I believe. They're like these pastries that are fried with apples, peaches, and they got all kinds of stuff, and they sell out quick. There's a line of people who will fight you for one. So I've been for like 3 years, 4 years maybe. Last year was the first year I was able to get some. So anyway, if you can make it down for that, great. And then the following weekend, Saturday, November 2nd, is the Bonnie Bright Plow Day in Pungo, Virginia Beach, Virginia. So that's always a good time, so we'll be there. Yeah, so that's it. I hope y'all not too mad at me for getting rid of the 420, switching it out for the skid steer, but it is what it is. That's what I want. So yeah, that's going to be an awesome project. Definitely going to help me out with things I need to do around here. And yeah, nice new project for the channel. So that being said, appreciate the support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's absolutely free. Hit the like button, comment, let me know what you want to see, and we'll go from there. Have a good week. Appreciate y'all. Peace.